Today, we're reacting to an ESPN segment covering Championship Sunday with discussions around key matchups, quarterbacks under pressure, and big coaching decisions across the NFL. It's all about who steps up when it matters most. If you enjoy NFL reaction videos like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Who is going to be the hero today on Championship Sunday? It starts on the AFC side of things. Drake May and the Patriots, they have never won a playoff game in Denver. Jarrett Stidham, he will be under center for the Broncos, has never played in a playoff game. Matter of fact, he's only started a handful of games since the Patriots drafted him in 2019. Something's got to give. Let's huddle up.
The Broncos' game plan is in, and Jarrett Stidham is primed and ready for his first NFL start in over 2 years. But Denver wants the spotlight off the quarterback. Sean Payton told the team, "I'm not worried about Stiddy. I'm worried about everyone else and how we play." Stidham made the Broncos' offense feel at ease from the very first practice snap. Right tackle Mike McGlinchey told me that Stidham was in complete command in the huddle Wednesday. No rah-rah speeches, all business. Stiddy's done an unbelievable job this week, McGlinchey said. He's ready for it.
One point Drake May highlighted this week is that playing in Denver hasn't been kind to opponents over the last 2 years. Since Sean Payton became Broncos head coach, only 3 teams have gone in there and won. As for the playoffs, May said he always heard people talking about the importance of being at home, but he couldn't really understand it until the last 2 weeks when he was at home and he saw what the Patriots crowd did for his team. He said he could really feel it, and now he looks forward to experiencing being on the other side of that.
Coach Herm Edwards joining us now on SportsCenter, breaking down this matchup. There's a lot of talk about how potentially rusty Jarrett Stidham could be. He hasn't thrown a pass since 2023. Matter of fact, the last time he threw an NFL pass, Drake May was throwing passes in college. If you're Sean Payton, how do you put Jarrett Stidham in the best position to succeed today?
He's going to simplify the offense. I think a lot of people think, well, all Sean Payton's going to ask this guy to do is turn around and hand the ball off. Okay. Running game. He's not going to do that. If you're doing the Patriots, the first thing you're thinking about is what? We're going to stop the run. We're going to make this guy beat us. Sean Payton says that that's correct. I'm going to get him in the groove early with some short, quick passes. I want to get him in 2nd and 4. Okay. That's the down for offense, 2nd and 4. How do I do that? Short, quick passes. I'm going to get 8 guys in the box. A lot of single safety high. They're going to try to stop the run. Throw it out there quickly, let your receivers get the ball, get the 2nd and 4.
Patriots have to be anticipating any and all of that, especially with Sean Payton sort of driving this quarterback. How do you think the Patriots defense, who, by the way, turned the Texans over 5 times in the divisional round, how do you think the Patriots defense attacks this offense?
Disguise the coverage. Make it very difficult for him. Give him some indicators that it looks like this and we're going to change it this way. The Patriots, they don't get credit for their defense. Their defense is only giving up 19 points a game. They have the 8th ranked defense. We talk about this Patriot team, but they're a balanced football.
At this point, the focus on Jarrett Stidham is interesting. It feels like Denver is really trying to take pressure off him by leaning on the system and the team around him. You can tell there's respect for Sean Payton's plan, but there's also a quiet question of whether Stidham can handle a playoff moment like this.
Ball team, yeah. They can get after the quarterback, not like the Denver Broncos, can get after the quarterback, but they do a nice job of making the quarterback hold the ball, and they intercept balls. That's the key.
Yeah, Marcus Jones has been a menace, not only on special teams, but certainly in the defensive backfield as well. Stidham, familiar with the Patriots, familiar with Josh McDaniels, right? He was drafted in the 4th round of the 2019 NFL Draft. More from this coach, our coach, Herm Edwards, talking to NFC later in the show.
Can't wait. NFC.
I love talking about these head games too, man. It's going to be some tricky. Back with you on SportsCenter. This just passes the eye test. Mike McCarthy looks like human Pittsburgh. It's a compliment. 62-year-old Pittsburgh native is the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Verbal agreement between McCarthy and his hometown team. He becomes just the 4th Steelers coach since the 1960s. McCarthy will take over from Mike Tomlin, who stepped away less than 2 weeks ago after 19 seasons with the team. And there is playoff success that precedes Mike McCarthy. We're here with Brooke Pryor, covers this team, lives in Pittsburgh. Why was McCarthy the right guy right now for this team?
Well, first of all, Randy, looks like Pittsburgh is called a yinzer. I want you to commit that term to memory. Yinzer is the preferred term for Pittsburghers.
Sure, I could say that. I would, like, it's stolen
You're allowed.
valor.
As a resident of Pittsburgh, I give you permission to say that.
I appreciate that.
What I can tell you, though, is that Mike McCarthy was the right choice, even though he was an unconventional choice for the Steelers, which is odd to say because he is from the city. He has Super Bowl pedigree. But at 62 years old, he is the oldest head coach in Steelers history, period. Not just when he was hired, but all time. And he comes from an offensive background. But like you said, he is from Pittsburgh. His high school, which is actually now a luxury apartment building, like, you know, gentrification happens.
Sure.
But it's 4 miles away from the Steelers practice facility. He understands this city better than any of the candidates. And not only that, but his connection to the Steelers as they are right now actually goes back to New Orleans, because when he was there as the offensive coordinator in 2000, Omar Khan was an assistant. He was a personnel assistant. Yeah. He is now the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Weidel, now the assistant general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, was a combine scout. So who knew 26 years later in New Orleans that would all lead to bringing Mike McCarthy back home to Pittsburgh?
There are all sorts of ties also with the current iteration of a football player in this uniform, and that's Aaron Rodgers, because those two combined when they were in Green Bay together, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, to beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 45. And now Aaron has spent most of 13 seasons with this man in Lambeau Field, has to decide whether he plays or not moving forward. How does this hire impact Rodgers' decision on his own football future?
Well, only Aaron Rodgers can make that decision, but I can tell you that in conversations with people in the building, there was a belief that perhaps this could lead to Aaron Rodgers coming back for an...
Here, the conversation around Mike McCarthy and the Steelers stands out. It sounds like a move based on trust, familiarity, and stability. At the same time, you can feel that some people wonder if this is more about comfort than taking a real risk to change the team's direction.
Additional season because of his relationship with Mike McCarthy. The two were in Green Bay together. Their relationship was a little rocky, a little volatile at the end, but absence makes the heart grow fonder. You start appreciating what you used to have. But even if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, Mike McCarthy has a reputation for working with and developing quarterbacks. Obviously, Rodgers in Green Bay. He was a quarterbacks coach before he became an offensive coordinator. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, the Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback. They have 6th-round pick Will Howard on their roster from last year. They also have the number 21 overall pick this season. So if Rodgers doesn't come back, then this hire signals to me that they believe Mike McCarthy can be the guy to develop the next franchise quarterback.
Whoever that may be, McCarthy and Rodgers, they did win 107.
Will be a factor. Lindsay Theory factoring in now. Let's huddle up.
Going into his 3rd NFC Championship, Coach Sean McVay tells me he isn't sure exactly what pregame message he'll deliver to his team, but he tells me this: what always resonates is what comes from the heart. McVay knows he also must manage when he addresses his team ahead of kickoff so that he can manage his own adrenaline and emotions for game time. Going into his 2nd NFC Championship, I asked Matthew Stafford what to expect ahead of kickoff. Stafford tells me there's always a little bit of buzz in the air, knowing that either you win the game and keep playing, or you lose and go home. Stafford says it all gets you a bit ramped up, but ultimately should not affect the game. The key to winning at Lumen Field, McVay says they cannot beat themselves against a phenomenal defense. They must take care of their own house.
Seahawks general manager John Schneider was named NFL Executive of the Year this week. And of all the home run moves he made over the last 10 months, none were bigger than Schneider's decisions to trade Geno Smith and sign Sam Darnold as his replacement. Darnold made the Pro Bowl. He helped the Seahawks secure the #1 seed, and now he's got them 1 win away from their first Super Bowl appearance in 11 years. To get there, Darnold will have to play through an oblique injury for the 2nd week in a row, and he'll have to overcome a Rams defense that intercepted him 6 times in their 2 regular season meetings. Through all the ups and downs, teammates and coaches have praised Darnold for how even-keeled he's been, and Darnold said he's treating this as just another game, but he added, quote, "We know the stakes. It's win or go home at this point."
All right, coaching him up with our coach, Herm Edwards, back with us on SportsCenter. For all the praise that we just heard Brady say that Sam Darnold is getting, he has thrown 6 interceptions against the Rams.
That's not good.
This season in 2 matchups. Familiarity breeds comfort, perhaps for a defense. Now, if you're Seattle, how do you put him in a position to succeed?
He's at his best, believe it or not, when he turns his back away from the defense. In other words, the play-action pass. Sam Darnold is very, very active. He's very comfortable when he does this. Just look at his graphics there. I mean, he's second in the league. I mean, that's impressive. In other words, when he can play action, can set the defense up with the fake of the run to get the linebackers and everybody stepping forward and then throw the ball, he is very good. One of the better quarterbacks in the league. And those stats prove it.
When Matt Stafford keeps his eyes downfield, he generally finds a lot of success as well. I'm guessing that's going to be part of this answer to this question. What is the Rams' key to success against Seattle's defense in Seattle, with the 12s being a factor as well?
Protect him in the pocket. If he can sit in the pocket and throw the football, he has some marvelous players to throw it to. And here they are. We know who they are, right? We got Puka. Look at those numbers. 10. Oh, my God. 35 touchdowns to those 4 players. 35. Adams, Parkinson, Higsby. He's got 2 receivers. He can throw the football from the pocket. He can drop back and throw it from the pocket. He can play action from the pocket. Just make sure the pocket is clean, and boy, he can light you up.
Is it one of those things for the defense where you just try to limit Puka because you know he's going to get his, or do you try to take him out of the game somehow, some way?
Very difficult because they move him around. He's a chess piece, moving around on offense. You never know where he's going to land.
Good luck. Coach is moving around, but he's hanging around with us all morning. He's going to be back with even more on the 2 conference championship games later on this morning. Coach, stand by.
Overall, this segment shows how much pressure is on quarterbacks and coaches when the playoffs arrive. Whether it's a first-time starter, a veteran trying to prove himself, or a coach stepping into a new role, every decision feels magnified. In the end, Championship Sunday is about execution, mindset, and who can stay calm in the biggest moments. Let me know what you think about these matchups, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more NFL reactions.